Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Happy Thursday. I just realized that my mic is not gonna like this desk. Let's see. Oh, hey, what's going on, guys? Guess what? I'm standing up right now. I'm standing up. I'm jumping. I'm jumping. There's jumping happening. All right. We're gonna interrupt the second iteration. I know you guys asked for the music a second time. I'm not gonna be able to get to it. We don't have enough time. All right, let's get into it. I'm excited. Thanks for smashing the like button and putting up with my stupidity. Bitcoin currently trading at 91, 116, and 38 cents. Let me know if the mic is funky. Is the mic funky? Like legit, let me know if it's funky because I have it mounted to the desk right now. I can mount it elsewhere. I might actually be able to move it. Should I move it? Is that crazy if I move it like in the middle of the stream? Let me know if it sounds like doo-doo. I can move it and like fix it. Is that better? Maybe that's better? Okay, let's get into it. You guys there's a long delay or something. Mic sounds good? Okay, cool. Bitcoin currently trading at $91,099.59. I do think I need like sound dampening foam now. I've got the itch. I got the desk. I got the mic. I got the camera. I got everything. Now I'm like, I literally my entire life I'm like, what do those people need that stupid foam for? And I had everything set up on that desk. Now I got it set up on this desk, and there's like wall, so I can hear myself. It's very echoey. Try it. Let's see what happens. You want me to move the mic? Oh, I have to do a poll. We have to do a poll, not a Q&A. We have to do a poll. God, I turned the fan off. Now I can't breathe. It's freaking hot in here. All right, the poll. Let me see. All right, which asset do you think will perform better this month? Bitcoin, silver, gold, S&P. All right, let's see what you guys got. Direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Live stream every single day. Ton of fun. Most days, we do a daily close contest where you can win up to $300. It's a ton of fun. Bitcoin currently trading at 91,207 and 23 cents. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we're at. Oops, 12 hour. I watched Four Brothers last night. Classic. Love that movie. 91,905. I think that movie came out in like 2005. Such a good movie. 93,228. They actually do a very good job like representing Detroit, which is weird. I wish Terrence Howard wasn't on Nutcase now. 90,450. And the very bippity boppity bottom, 88,797. Cool. So that's our range. We've got Tom Selleck Scout and Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn in the chat. Appreciate you guys for being here. Jay Shear 2.0. What's going on, my friend? Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. We had a very small quantity of likes yesterday. Tom Selleck Scout said, "Where my shitcoin on that poll?" I don't know. I missed your text. Gourmet said, "Yes, the sound panels are fantastic." I mean, I just ordered. This one's gonna sound crazy. It's totally not. It's very what's the term? Very unorthodox. But I ordered a tension rod, like a shower curtain. And because right now I have a big piece of cardboard across the back and there's a black sheet over it. I like the black sheet, but I also have a gigantic green screen that I want to use. It has to be well lit enough. And I have the space, so I bought a curtain rod that literally spans the room. And I'm going to put the curtain rod up and I'm going to drape either the green screen or this lovely I don't even know, maybe queen size black sheet across it. But yeah, right now it's just a piece of cardboard that's kind of on a pile of clothes, and some of it's like sitting on a drawer from the old desk, and then I have I have it pinned to the wall. It's pretty ingenious, if I do say so myself. Anyways, let's see. Bitcoin 91, 161 and 78 cents. We are chilling in between our little range for our liquidation heat map. Bitcoin dominance 59.13%. We got a nice little bounce on Bitcoin dominance at about 58.8. It is back above 59, hopefully. So we got our rejection at 59.5. I'm gonna guess, yeah, we can see a rejection at 59.25. Would be next. That would be ideal. We'll see what happens though. Keep an eye on it. This one's gonna be important. Watch for sure. See where it ends up. ETH up 0.23% since the daily close. A lot of indecisiveness with these wicks going up and down. We'll see what that has in store for us. Our RSI looking like it might eventually want to curl over and get a bullish cross over that moving average, and then eventually trend to the upside, which would be awesome, because that would mean that this is probably going to curl up and start going back up as well. The volume could be better, and I don't mean that it's bad volume, it's just red volume, which is number go down. We don't like number go down. We are permabulls on this channel. We only long, and if we lose money, then we clearly didn't set a stop loss. I'm just kidding. Blockchain Brew said, "What's up, Slim Jim? What's going on, Blockchain Brew? How you guys doing?" I got a stand-up desk. I'm pretty stoked, actually. I'm gonna brag for a minute with one of my colleagues, because we're both YouTubers. I have a stand-up desk, which means I can go over here now. I'm way over here now. I'm in the back of the room, and now I'm approaching, and I'm in the front now. Or I guess maybe this is the back of the room. You guys don't know the layout of my apartment. What's going on, guys? Yeah, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the bell for notifications. I need to get a better ring light now. ETH looks awesome. We had pointed out the RSI. We got this red dot kind of near the top. Oh, dude, they're so nice. They're so nice. I highly recommend. So this one's actually a Christmas present from my mom. I had these Carhartt overalls, and they did not fit. I don't know what happened. I could not squeeze. I've gained 40 pounds. But I don't think that the other sizes would have fit anyways. They're very slim in the waist. Like, you're not allowed to have a butt if you wear Carhartt overalls. So my mom was like, "What do you want instead of these?" And I was like, "I don't want a stand-up desk." And she's like, "Send me the link." And I sent her the link, and then she's like, "Okay, I just ordered that one." And I was like, "Okay, sweet." So I feel kind of like a kid again. It's very fun. It's very fun. There's like little presets and stuff, but you guys don't care about that. We're here to talk about crypto. Solana. Ooh, dude, Sol looks really good. We're getting a nice bounce back above our blue trend line here after a swift rejection earlier. Can we maintain this and hopefully get above 140? That would be awesome. We got a bullish cross over the moving average on the RSI. Volume is returning. Very consistent green volume, which is awesome. Green dot in the momentum wave. Positive money flow on market cipher. As we in the biz like to say, number go up. Next, we've got Total 3 up 0.05% on the day, currently trading at 880.75 billion. I like that it's holding well above 800 billion, well above 850. We kind of bounced off of, what is that, 875-ish? And right now we're a little indecisive on whether or not we're going to break above 883 or continue to the downside, maybe retest 850, 860. We'll see. Blockchain Brew said, "Love it. Bless all the moms out there. 100% cheers to the moms, to the mothers. Cheers. 100%. Blockchain Brew said, "Since when do you use market cipher?" It's actually, this is the poor man's version, Fu Manchu. And I've always used it, actually. I like it. Cheap and free. Anyways, Total 3. Struggling to get above 883. We'll see if it breaks or if it continues the downside. These candles are very interesting. It's given like weekend liquidity vibes. ADA currently down 0.25% on the day, currently trading at 39.47. Having trouble getting above 40. we are probably, if we don't get back above 40, we're probably at least going down to like 30. I want to say 38 to be a little optimistic, but the pessimist in me is saying 36. Hopefully 38 holds. We'll see what happens though. RSI looking, yeah, see, this does not look like it wants to break. It looks like it wants to resist and go down. So we'll see what happens. Keep an eye on it. I have a bearish bias for the short term on ADA. So like I said, we'll see. We do have a green dot of the momentum wave though. Positive money flow. Good. SNEC is currently up 0.24% back below our yellow trend line again, which makes me a little bit sad. We'll see if we can get back above it. We're holding 0.001 though, which is important to me. As long as we stay above that, I'll be happy. We're probably going to go below it though because I can never be happy for too long. We got our RSI getting ready to potentially cross bullish over the moving average. See what occurs with that. Green dot of the momentum wave, point to the upside. Money flow is negative, so downside is a possibility for sure. Night currently down 0.56% on the day, trading at 0.0735. Tom Stocks code said Adam Eve forming at Bitcoin. What time frame? Mean like this? I don't know. Give me a time frame. I like the green dot though and the positive money flow. XRP currently trading at 211.94. We got a clear rejection at 240, a clear bounce at $2, $2.10. I almost said 2 o'clock. That would have been awkward. $2, $2.10, and resistance at 214, 215. So we'll see if we end up coming down from there. If we do, I suppose my target, I would like to see a reaction at $2, but given the like fake out troll nature of the recent price action for everything, I would expect it to lose $2, even if it's for a short period of time, and actually touch probably 194, 195. We got a potential, see, this looks weak too. It looks like it just wants to reject. It's like scared of that moving average. So we'll see what that trajectory ends up as. Volume kind of fell off a cliff. We do have a green dot of the momentum wave, point to the upside. Money flow is positive. So there's two positives, but I think the negatives outweigh the positives right now on the 4-hour time frame. H-bar down 1% on the day, currently trading at 11.93. We got a clear rejection here around 13.2, 13.4. And this actually, I don't know, is this called a gravestone doji, I think? That is very indicative of some selling pressure. Volume could be a little bit better. And we got, again, the situation where the RSI almost looks scared of the moving average, pushing it down further. Red dot, we had a green dot of the momentum wave, now switch to a red dot. Blockchain Bruce said, bye dude. See you later. By the way, are you coming on soon and you don't know it yet? Did you see the Zcash news? I did actually. The Zcash news is crazy. Totally crazy. Yeah, if you guys send me a link literally every day, when I'm available, I'll click on it for sure. Which will more than likely be most days. Gourmet Brand said Tau had a nice run to $300 but got rejected. Let's actually go check out Zcash. Because what happened with that is crazy. The team... Okay, so what I heard that the team resigned and everyone freaked out. They're like, the entire Zcash dev team resigned. Whoever bought this dip probably just made out so much money. So they left, from what I understand through the rumor mill, so don't quote me on this, they like left a centralized entity within like the Zcash like core development organizations because they didn't like something that they were like, you have to do this way, and they were like, well, we don't want to buy, and then they formed an identical entity without that rules or restrictions or what have you. So it was kind of a nothing burger of a story. If anything, personally, I would actually find that more bullish. But I don't know if that's true either. That's just what I heard through the grapevine. So interesting to watch it happen. I wouldn't say it was a bubble, but the privacy niche kind of got a lot of hype, and it's eventually going to have to come back down. Maybe not all the way, but that is a lower high. So we'll see how far it retraces until it gets like a proper bounce continuation to the upside. Sometimes it takes a long time. Cass has been doing it for forever. Look at this volume. Great volume, great volume, okay volume, bad volume, no volume. So they need more volume for sure. It was incredibly oversold during that dump. Let's go take a look at Tau as well. Tau, I need to add Tau. I don't have any Tau. I think I need to just build a big fat bag of Tau. If it pulls back, you know, I might even do it just right now in this little pocket. So don't be surprised, because we've seen this before. It gets below and then it comes back and it looks like it's about to blast off, but it doesn't. It comes back down lower. It could do that again. Maybe not lower. Maybe it doesn't go lower. If you're going to try to use this as a strategy, if I was trying to use this as a strategy, I would not wait for it to get lower. I would, as soon as it got below this 271, I would start buying. I would start buying the whole time underneath there, because Tau, for some reason, has been incredibly strong, very good performer. And I don't really know why. Look at that. It's a triple bottom right there, too. Maybe I'm talking on my butt. Did we just buy it at a really good time? We might have bought an accidental bottom when we built our portfolios last year. On this pump too, it hasn't even become overbought. Volume slowly creeping back into the space, which is awesome. You're at 281.60. It did have a nice recovery. Look at that. Beautiful. 28%. So this is what I like to call, I never really gave it a definitive name. It's like a springboard where the asset trades in between it, and then eventually it just accumulates enough pressure and it explodes. Maybe a pressure cooker. I feel like I've used that term for like 18 different things, but we'll call it a pressure cooker. It gets cooked up in there and then it pops like popcorn. And that's kind of like what we might see here. What's even cooler, if I was trying to sell you on this, if I was trying to tell you this is for sure going to bounce, this is hypothetical. If I was trying to tell you, you need to buy this because it's going to explode, here's why. This is my why. You got 1, 2, 3. You got 1, 2. You got 1. 3, 2, 1. I don't know. It's kind of a quickie dink. I have another crazy one for you guys. So my boss bought XRP the other day. I set him up. I hooked him up with a Coinbase account, and I like signed him up with my referral. So we both got the little $30 Bitcoin bonus or whatever. And then he wanted to buy more today. So we sit down and we're looking, and I'm looking at the computer screen and I'm like, huh, that's weird. And he's like, what? So on his Coinbase, the only asset that he has in there is XRP. I have to flip my camera for this. I'm going to go to a big camera. Okay, big camera, yep. And then I have to flip it. There we go. Webcam. Bam. Webcam. Click. Transform. Flip. Horizontal. Okay. So, does anyone know, you guys know the 589 thing with XRP? It's kind of a meme. I look at Coinbase, and for some reason Coinbase's APY return, their return on their cash, is 5.89%. And it blew my mind. I was like, whoa. What? That's such an obscure number, too. So I took a picture. I don't know, I thought it was super interesting. I figured I'd share. It was Okay, I think we're good now. How long was I gone for? It had to have been after the 589 thing, right? Was I gone for the 589 thing? Hang on. No, okay, you had me here. There was background music too. Whoops, that was an accident. Okay, so it was moving from screen to screen. It just got rid of my mic. Anyways, yes, there's an Adam Eve here. There's an Adam Eve here. And I talked about how this, I call it a neckline, even though it's not an inverse head and shoulder or a head and shoulder pattern. This neckline here, it looks like we rejected it. But that does not mean that that's the end of the pattern and the pattern's invalidated. It could still do that. And then you would just draw the Adam Eve like that. Just like you don't really draw the Adam Eve like this, you know what I mean? The general consensus is the V and the U. And the U can have a couple of U's within it to make it a big U. You know what I mean. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I did literally migrate my entire setup from the other side of the room to here before I went live. And I'm very hungry. So I do have peanut M&Ms, but I'm not going to be rude and eat those while I'm on the stream with you guys. That's weird. I feel like I have more energy, but I also feel like I have arthritis in the knees now. Because my body has to carry 40 more pounds, dude. Justin Crypto OG said, bro, they changed it to 5.88% now. Haha, wow. That's crazy. No way. Let me go see. I'm going to go see. No way. I literally, that's why I took a picture, because I was like, there's no way. It freaked me out. I wonder if it depends on, No, mine shows 5.89 as well. Mine shows 5.89. That's so crazy. I wonder if it's region-based. That's so crazy, dude. It literally blew my mind when I saw it. I was like, I did like a double take. Let me make sure my freaking mic is still on. Hold on, my webcam's all blurry now too. Adjust. Okay, that's better. All right. I'm in U.S. Wisconsin. Yeah, it might be. I have no idea. It might be state-based. Who knows? We get 10 cents per returnable here, so I just felt like saying that. I don't know. I feel like some weird competitive thing because you're from Wisconsin. I'm from Michigan. I don't know. Mine says 3.5. What? Are we discovering something here today, guys? Do I need to... Let me lift the desk up a little bit more. What? I know, I feel like you're too high. Shit, I should have looked at where it was. Is this right? Right there. That looks good, right? That's funny. They're all different. What's going on, Justin Crypto OG? John Tucho said, can you see all that again? Yeah, I think I said it all. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. I'm a little flabbergasted at the APY that Coinbase is offering. All right, SWE down, let's see, 0.23% on the day, currently trading at 181.24. We rejected, I'm going to call it $2, and then we got a little bounce off 185, and then we got another rejection at like 195, a bounce at I'm going to call it 175, and a rejection at 185. So we're going through the movements, going through the, jumping through the hoops. Where are we going to retrace? Is this going to be the actual retrace right here? Because we got our little triple bottom action. Support bounce continuation. I could see it bouncing soon, I hope. Otherwise, I guess I would look for... We never really quite got that full retrace to like 150 that I would have liked to have seen when we broke it. So I don't want to say that we're going to go down there, but it's entirely possible. We got the same situation where the RSI is seemingly afraid of the moving average. Just a Crypto OG said, where in Michigan? I had to Ironwood a lot, if you know what I mean. LOL. Ironwood. I don't think I know what you mean. I'm in between Flint and Detroit. So I can either have lead in the water or lead in the bullets. Top Select Scout said mine 5.89, and the sound issues are actually pretty funny. Is there more? Is there more? I'm gonna start like doing it on purpose. He's so stupid. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Now there's visual issues. Jeez. We talked about Sweet. Ondo. There's not much to say about Ondo. It's got a hard rejection at 45. Look at this thing. Damn it. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. We're onto something here. We got a rejection around like 45, 47. And we got potential support here at around 40. This could be something for Ondo. Volume slowly ticking up. I like to see that. Look at this, dude. Look at how crazy low that volume was. This was like pathetic. That was insane. We got a green dot of the momentum wave. Positive money flow since the second confirmed red dot on market cipher back here. That kind of been validated. And RSI kind of in between. It doesn't look afraid, but it's kind of slow. You like the Mr. Bean of sound? That's pretty good. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Michigan's got that quality herbal medicine. I concur. There are several roads where you literally drive on them and you get the inhalant effect. You're driving and you're like, and then you feel it, Mr. Krabs. You get a contact high from driving on the roads. It is pretty funny though. Like certain whole towns just smell like weed now. It's good stuff. They oversaturated the market so much too. There's like 2, 3, 4 shops, and then one of them will sell themselves to the other one, and then like that one gets twice as big. So then the third one's over here. They're like, we'll just sell ourselves to you too. Fine, and then it just becomes one big conglomerate. There's one near where I work that's like a mall. There's vendors inside of the weed shop. It's crazy. So it's fun time for sure. Buddy of mine recently was like, he was talking about his 21st birthday. He was like, for my 21st birthday, me and my friends, we literally just went into like every local weed store because they give you free stuff for your first time shopping there. They give you free stuff on your birthday. So he just got a shit ton of free stuff. I was like, dude, that's genius. Two Fix said Ondo has a huge token release coming shortly. Going to be a great buy coming up soon. Okay, nice. Good to know. Thank you for I think I heard about that. Thank you for the heads up. I also like this inverse Mothman pattern that we've been calling it because it is very indicative of a Mothman. I don't know. I guess that's Mothman. This is his little face right here. Okay. Aerodrome up 1.79% on the day, currently trading at 56.32. We got a rejection around 62. Couldn't hold 60. We're playing around 55. I like that. Worst case scenario, I'd like to see 50 hold. Although getting below 50 would be a little bit of a bummer. But we'll see. Volume looked good right there. It's a little bit mediocre right here. RSI trying to cross bullish over the moving average, which is pretty sick. We got a green dot on the momentum wave. And money flow just flipped green as well. Stellar, Nothing Burger, Fartcoin, just because I think the name is funny and people hate it, and that makes me like it even more. Fartcoin rejected at 46, and it looks like it's bounced just below 40, and it's trying to stay above 40, which is awesome. We got a good amount of volume here. That is a middle finger if I've ever seen one. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Let me just grab the whole thing. Hold on. Ready? We're going on a little adventure. Ready? Eee! Tell me that's not a middle finger. It's like a big middle finger. You see it in the volume? I just whacked my elbow on the table. It probably messed up the whole sound. Look at that. That is a middle finger. That's pretty cool, actually. I kind of like it. However, in doing that, I discovered the possibility of a head and shoulder pattern here. Or an inverse peen of dumpiness, if you will. See the chat for reference. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, shall we continue? CAS. What are we gonna do about CAS, man? They're rejecting 5 cents again. I don't want to remove it from the watch list because I do think that it's a great project, but they're really, really falling behind. What I like about it, I suppose, is the possibility of it finally getting that break, because every break has been a swift move up followed by a swift move down every single time. I like it actually like slowly going up and out versus like a really violent move and then getting retraced. I want to see it just slowly build progress and, get that advantage that it needs as far as the price is concerned. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll continue to root for him. Avalanche, this is where I'm going to have sound problems because my whole mic is blocking the screen. Avalanche currently down 0.5% on the day, trading at $13.96. Do I sound louder? I feel like I'm too loud now. Is the mic too close to my face? What if I put it up? What if I just put the mic in the camera like that? Do you guys like that? Okay. I think I can make that work. All right. Avalanche up 0.58% on the day. Did I say down? We got our nice break of... First of all, we got a break of whatever this is the legacy trend line, I remember. This is the trend line from like 2020. This yellow line. I suppose I should change the color. Let's change it to orange. So the orange is the legacy trend line. We got a violent break above that, a rejection at our upper trend line of our descending channel, support of our legacy trend line that goes back to 2020, and then we got a break of our descending channel trend line. So break, resistance, support, break, support, continuation. And I like that the continuation was not violent. It's a nice slow continuation and then a little curl to the downside. Exercise that support again. Confirm you got permission. You're good to go. Mom and dad aren't going to be mad. You can stay out as late as you want. And we're off to the races. That is what I'm hoping for. We got some nice wicks indicative of some buying pressure right at that upper trend line support. So let's see where we end up. RSI, see what I mean here? This RSI looks ready to go. It looks like it's going to bust through that moving average and pop to the upside. That's what we want to see. Not this stuff where it's like, oh, don't touch me. That's what everything else looks like. It's annoying. Like, grow some balls and break that moving average, bro. Come on. Chainlink up 0.76% on the day, currently trading at 13.31. We rejected around 14, broke below 13.39, and found support. It looks like at 13 or maybe 13.20. We're trying to break through 13.39 at the moment. The RSI looks good here, actually. That looks like it's about to bust through as well. Let's see what happens with that moving average. Volume could be a little bit better. We got a green down in the momentum wave. Money flow has been positive since Christmas Eve, which is awesome. This has a very strong case for a bullish continuation. Gourmet Brand said the avalanche move is so volatile. I guess hence the name. Dude, I've always talked about that. I'm like, why would you name your project Avalanche? That can literally, like, by definition, an avalanche can only ever go down. There has never been a upwards trajectory avalanche. I gotta be careful with the the angle of my arm. There's never been an avalanche that moved up. Maybe if you use both arms, you'll be safe. There's never been an avalanche that moved up. They always go down. It's a downward thing, and it's bad. People get buried. They get, essentially, if you really, because snow is made out of water, an avalanche ends up with a lot of people underwater. It's a bad name. I would rather mine be like lottery, which sounds kind of like a scam. What do you call it? Winning? We could do like a Charlie Sheen winning coin. I don't know. Avalanche is bad. Don't name it Avalanche. You could name it like Plateau or something. Anything but Avalanche. Gravity is another awful name. Fire coin. Now bro's an expert on gravity. Definitely, I would rather be an expert on gravity than World War II history, if you know what I'm going for. With that gesture specifically. Doge. Did we talk about Link enough? Yeah, Link's got the similar situation with the wicks to the downside, indicative of some nice buy pressure, which is exactly what we want to see. Doge is up 0.64%. Chilling. I feel like there's not much to talk about with Doge. been freaking out about this. I've wanted Doge to go down to 10 cents for freaking forever. And it literally, I mean, besides this fake cheat wick, whatever Binance scam junk that they got going on, besides that, perfectly touching my 10-cent little purple line thing right here. We're pretty close. Pretty close. And what's really funny is that would kind of fill that wick as well. But 11.5, I'm going to call that a win. So we've been calling 10 cents for forever because of the stupid purple line, which is just Doge's like bottom. This is what I mean when people are like, or when I say I don't think that we entered a proper bull market, or that, I don't know. No matter what, altcoins are hitting their bear market lows. We've entered a bear market, or we've been in a bear market the whole time. We had a little bull trend in the bear market for the altcoins. Bitcoin, you could say, went on a run. It had its own bull run, whatever. Who cares? It's semantics. The ISM PMI business cycle manufacturing index says we did not hit a proper bull market, bull off top euphoria thing. And that is what I'm looking for. When I say bull market, that's what I'm talking about. Doge literally hitting bear market lows, along with every other coin besides Bitcoin. It is what it is. So we can either take advantage of this or cry and whine and move on to sports betting and stuff. But what are you gonna do? Derek said it would be nice to see Doge hit $1 at some point in my life. That would be pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's possible. I always tried to way back when I first started streaming, and I explained the CoinMarketCap historical price index thing, and making sure that you check how much a coin has printed since the last bull market, because people are always like, oh, Polkadot was $50 at one point or whatever. It could get $50 again. If they doubled or quadrupled their supply, then their market cap would have to double or quadruple in order for them to hit that. Their high market cap would have to double or quadruple in order to hit that previous all-time high. So Doge was always that one where I would be like, oh, Doge printed. And I would go, and every time I check, I would be pleasantly surprised because they actually did not print. They have a very, very low inflation rate compared to all the other altcoins. So it's very nice to see. I think Doge has a lot of potential for sure. Tom Solix Code said, bull market starts tomorrow after Supreme Court decision. Oh, that is tomorrow. You're right. Whoa. What do we think? Are they going to rule against tariffs? Because that would be crazy. If it's going to be a lot of legal trouble, actually, for probably the entire country, to be honest. I am hoping, here's my best case scenario for the bull market, is that the Supreme Court outlaws tariffs, but they do not outlaw them retroactively. I think they could be like, well, you can collect, you can keep whatever you collected from this point forward. You're not allowed to collect anymore. I think that would be best case scenario for all sides. We'd get a monstrous bull market, and Trump wouldn't be in trouble and have to pay back a bunch of money. Now, longer term for the economy, I kind of like tariffs. I couldn't tell you why. I've justified it 1,000 times in my brain. Anyone that is importing something from a foreign country, if they have to pay a premium, so be it. Who cares? If I need something from China that I can't get here, and it costs me an extra 15-20%, then I'm going to pay an extra 15-20%. And if you're like, oh, it's a tax, great. Trump's talking about getting rid of income tax. If he does, or even if he doesn't, some asshole importing a car from overseas is going to pay a lot more money than I am to get my stupid little drink umbrella from Oriental Trading. Oh, I had to pay an extra 30 cents for this. Who cares? It's goofy to me, man. I think tariffs are a great idea. Because the things that matter to me have decreased in price. It's not inflation. It is a one-time increase. Inflation's going down, Tom Selleck's goat. So riddle me that. Now I'm a macro economist. I should get different hats that say every time I go on a rant, I just change the hat. like weatherman, macroeconomist, cryptocurrency influencer. Tufik said, okay, hold on. Tom Scout said, I thought the whole point of Doge was that its supply constantly goes up, like literally every minute. I don't think so. I think we looked at it. It's a proof of work, so it's very similar to Bitcoin, but it's like 100 times more the supply or something like that, which is why there's such a small decimal or whatever. I think you might be thinking of like SHIB or something. I don't know. I might be thinking of SHIB. They're all the same to me. All the dog coins are all the same. What is that? Like Breedist? I don't care. Come at me, dog. Tufik said, I think we have been in a bear all year, but Bitcoin had the ETFs pushing the price up and alts moved a little with momentum. I agree. I think my best definition, which I think I've put it this way from the beginning, it just kind of sounded like bullshit copium back then because alts weren't moving and Bitcoin was at all-time highs, but I have always maintained the argument that Bitcoin simply reached fair valuation. And you can't really argue against that because people are going to pay what they think it's worth, which means that its actual value is whatever dollar amount is on the ticker right now. So Bitcoin's fair valuation at that point in time was $126,000, whereas the altcoins had no liquidity and there was like liquidity restraints from the Fed and all this stuff. So we ended up with poopy altcoins. Not to mention everybody got rugged from everything, so they all just left. So a little bit of retail that was left maintaining, propping up altcoin market disappeared as well. All that dried up entirely. Gourmet Brands said, I think if anyone wants to sell, I would put some sell orders because if we get any bullish news, the market will wick up big time. Yeah. Yep. I'm looking to hopefully make some moves in the coming months on house buying with all of this Trump business. But we'll see. Time will tell. Monad. Oh shoot, I'm on a daily, so everything looks like poop. Monad looks decent. It's kind of doing this weird thing, like it bottomed out and then it broke out, chopped, broke, chopped. It's gonna do the same thing because that seems to be its prerogative at the moment. There's really no other way to put it. The RSI slowly climbing with it as well. We got a red dot on the momentum wave, pretty much at the Pico top right here, minus that. Volume could be a little bit better. Green dot on the momentum wave at the moment, bullish cross over the moving average and the RSI, and positive money flow. That's good. Pengu's at 0.9%, doing its thing. This thing's probably gonna run. We've got silver. Silver, potentially, I'm kind of excited to announce silver, not financial advice, and I guess excited is the wrong word, may have topped. I'm tickled to announce, maybe that's the right word, that's kind of creepy. I'm tickled by silver, potentially it's being topped. Because I have $40 in short positions. Ooh, I'm going to retire from a stupid silver short. Man, could you imagine if I just went all in on a silver short and silver plummets and I buy a house with my silver short winnings? I would be like a silver perma bear. That would like permanently alter my mental state when it comes to silver. People would be like, oh, I got some bullion. I'd be like, you better sell that shit. Garbage. I made millions of dollars short in silver. That's how I feel about Peter Schiff. Like, he bought gold one time and it went up a little bit, and he was like, oh, I love this. That's so messed up. That poor guy. I kind of feel bad for him. He's bored. All right, so silver. We got a little flag going on, and then we broke out of the flag. See, I guess what's nice about this is, bullish-wise, you could maybe make the argument that, maybe you got front run a little bit, but you got your breakout, retest, continuation. I feel like that's entirely possible as well. So we'll see. It is struggling to get back above 77. 77 was the area of resistance that I was keeping an eye on. If strictly based on this, and I guess that was it. I think that was a target at some point. I had a measured move target, maybe from way the heck down here. Who knows? I was talking about it topping out at 77, and it broke past that twice. Speaking of Peter Schiff, broke past that twice. That was too far. I'm sorry. I'm on a roll, man. I'm hungry. Apparently, I tell good jokes when I'm hungry. The whole point of getting the stand-up desk was because I gained so much damn weight. So maybe it's working. Maybe it's working. I gotta do like aerobics while I'm doing a stream. Wouldn't that be funny? Okay. But yeah, 76.57. Let's see if it continues to the downside. It's kind of doing the scaredy cat thing with the moving average on the RSI. They got a little bit close, and the RSI is like, no. Stay away from me. So we'll see what happens. This candle is quite interesting. That wick to the downside is very, very indicative of some heavy buy pressure. Traveling Trader B said I'm standing at mine with you, cuzzy. Nice. Dude, I'm so stoked. I got this today. I'm very excited about it. I'm gonna put the treadmill down, and then I'll be streaming on the treadmill like this, like Jason Casper. Maybe I could start rapping. It'd be kind of fun. So yeah, silver, 76.63. It does look good for a continuation. We'll keep an eye on it. It looks good for both, man. Both scenarios sound good, honestly. It's an interesting chart. Traveling Trader B said, Soul tossing me around like a dirty one. I feel like that's Soul's nature, man. Soul is like every female at Woodstock. Alright, DXY 98.93. It is increasing. This is what concerned me about the DXY. This does not look like a weak bounce. This looks like a swift rebound, and it's about to go parabolic, which is scary. Gourmet Brand said Soul trying to break through 141. Alright, I'll get to Soul in 1 second. Let me do MicroStrategy, currently trading at 167.40, aka Big B Coffee. It is up 3.18% on the day. Somehow, the chart keeps saying that it's up, but it's like maintained the same price daily. So I'm not sure why it's up or how it's up. Doesn't make sense to me. Let's see if it gets above 167.47 and continues potentially fulfilling the fractal. If it does, then I am indeed a fractal Farquad. We got a confirmed green dot on Market Cipher. I'm not sure how relevant that is, but it is there, and it exists. So we'll see what happens here. NASDAQ currently down 0.03% on the day. The pullback lining up pretty good with the fractal. Honestly, unfortunately, it is calling for us to go a little bit lower than our previous low, and then we're going to skyrocket up, and then we're going to retrace again. So, whoops, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. There we go. Okay. So we got a potential. I'm just going to draw this and then leave it here. And then, boom. So we'll see what we get. I'm liking the possibility of that move. I'm going to make this somewhat semi-transparent. I guess the pullback, I think, will scare a lot of folks. Especially this one. Like, we'll get this pullback, that bounce, and then another pullback. People are going to freak out if that happens that way. But if it does follow the fractal, that would be pretty sick. Good opportunities all around. Traveling Trader said, I need a 140 retest to get out of some. I'm way over leveraged, lol. Jay Shears said, shout out to Jason Casper. I actually thoroughly enjoy his streams. I never even knew about him, to be completely honest. I think I accidentally found him because I watched I saw out of nowhere, which I never do this. I was scrolling through reels on YouTube, which I never do. And I saw one from Lifer, which was really funny. He was asking his wife, he's like, I'm a good looking guy for a crypto YouTuber, right? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, what do you mean? Yeah, is there somebody better looking than me? And she's like, how about that one guy, Vital? And he's like, Vital? She's like, yeah, Vital. And he's like, Vital. And then she goes, yeah. And he's like, Vitalik Buterin? And then he starts cracking up. He goes, my wife is so bad at crypto, man. It was really relatable. It was a funny clip. But she also mentioned Jason Casper in that, which is why I think I looked him up. I don't think I saved the damn thing. It always takes me forever to find it too. I'll show you guys. I'll put it in the Discord if I find it later. It's such a funny short though, dude. Has nothing to do with crypto, or I guess nothing to do with TA. But it was a funny clip. Okay, S&P 500 continuing its little bounce-a-rooney, following the fractal very nicely. We do have a little, I guess I wouldn't call it decoupling, just like a separation. It's finding its individuality in all the noise of the fractal. So I did map out where I'm assuming it'll go just based on the fractal, and we got that right here in the semi-transparent situation. And that is it. Dominance 59.07. You guys want to look at Solana? Hopefully dominance rejecting here, continuing to the downside. Solana currently trading at 140 and 63 cents. That is up 1.63% on the day. Looking good, actually. Looks really good. So anyone that's new here, we do stream every single day. And most days, if I make it home on time, which is a little complicated with daylight savings, but once that's over, it'll be consistent daily. We do a daily close contest where you could win up to $300. No strings. Completely free to play. Ton of fun. We've had a bunch of $20 winners. No $300 winners yet. We've had people be off by 1 penny before. But if you're here and we're doing the giveaway or the contest, I'll explain the rules. It's really easy. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. But anyways, on Solana, we have this legacy trend, which way back here, it was literally just this little channel that we were trying to break out of. And we've extended those lines because they've been incredibly relevant this entire time. So that's what those blue lines are. And then this purple line is actually, let me make sure my mic is still working. Okay. This purple line, we had a inverse head and shoulder here. And that inverse head and shoulder got a nice bounce off the lower trend line. And then we broke above the neckline. We got a rejection from the upper trend line. We found support at our neckline, and then we continued to the upside where Solana went on to make a new all-time high, which is awesome. So this inverse head and shoulders is very, very relevant in terms of the price and the chart and the TA and the price action and whatever you want to call it, the aligned chakras and the moon phases, your crystal charging, all that stuff. So the blue line and the purple line, that's what those represent. We got our upper trend line resistance, our neckline, which can be support resistance depending on what side you're on, and we have since rejected, broke above, support, rejected, support, broke above. That support is kind of like a midpoint in between the neckline and the upper trend line, and we're breaking through the upper trend line for the second attempt on this go round. So we want to see, I guess, a maintained move above 140 would be ideal, and then continuation to the upside. Volume looks really good. Solana's getting a lot of good press lately. I don't know, man. They got the momentum. They got the people. They got the marketing. I'm liking the green dot on our momentum wave. Positive money flow. We got a bullish cross over the moving average and the RSI. We'll see where we end up. We got some news. Bitcoin currently trading at 91, 67, and 86 cents. News segment. A lot of news today, so bear with me. Watcher Guru posted $100 million worth of crypto longs liquidated in the past 60 minutes. That was 20 hours ago. And then we got Treasury Secretary Bessent calls for more federal rate cuts. I think, now this might be crazy. We're gonna go over it when I get to it in the news segment, but I do think I'm gonna take that bet for a 25 basis point rate cut. We'll see. India's stock market records biggest drop in over 4 months as U.S. tariff concerns resurface. Google officially surpasses Apple to become the second most valuable company in the world. Didn't Berkshire Hathaway just buy a bunch of Google? Makes you think. U.S. trade deficit falls to lowest level since 2009. That's huge. Huge news. $1.8 trillion Morgan Stanley to launch crypto wallet this year. That's the same Morgan Stanley that committed fraud. Just remember that. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, JJ, if you want some towel, it just dipped below 280. I'm probably not going to buy it any while I'm on the street. Appreciate the heads up, though. You mean 280? Oh, you did say 280. Did I say 180? Did I have a full dyslexic attack just now? Jesus. What are you guys doing to me? It's not my fault. Jim Cramer. Great news, everyone. You heard it here first. Jim Cramer tells investors to avoid buying stocks. So if you haven't already, join the Discord in the description. We got a stock channel in there. Great channel. All the channels are great. The stock channel in particular, though, very, very mature. The best stocks. Only the best. So go join there. Jim Cramer is not in there, luckily, so he will not talk positively about our bags. We got President Trump considers paying Greenlanders up to $100,000 per person to leave Denmark and join the United States. Turns out, guys, I've been lying to you this whole time. I'm actually an Icelander. So, wait for my check in the mail, and then I will be a member of the United States. Very exciting. Very cool. I'm also Somalian, so if you guys have any daycare needs, don't contact me because I don't actually provide daycare services. I just collect the checks. Treasury Secretary Bessent says millions of Americans see the largest tax refunds of their lives this year. May see the largest tax refunds of their lives this year. I will say, I preemptively put all the information in for my tax returns, and it's mediocre. It is not the largest tax return of my life, and I'm have dependents, head of household. It's goofy to me. I'm not sure what they're talking about. What do I need to do to get a better tax return? Because last year, I got a lot. Last year was amazing. This year, it's kind of boring. I'm just saying. Scott Bessent, where's my 100K from this Greenland thing? President Trump orders $200 billion in mortgage bond buys to lower mortgage rates. Very cool. This is why I think within the next 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to see a good mortgage rate potential for anyone looking to buy or even potentially refinance. Crypto stablecoin transaction volume hits new $33 trillion record in 2025. I don't know. Okay, so they probably just recorded the 2025 data and just published it. I do think that is going to be way more next year, or for this year, for 2026, because I think the stablecoins are spearheading adoption when it comes to crypto. UK considers banning Elon Musk's X, the Telegraph reports. Not surprised. It's probably going to explode in user volume again. Hopefully they stop tweaking the algorithm because my engagement is completely gone and it's not really worth hanging out here. Treasury buys back another $2 billion of their own debt. Money printer go blur. Bitcoin falls below 90K as 450 million of levered longs are liquidated in 24 hours. That was 16 hours ago, guys. We told you about the CME gap, this big, fat, purple line at 89,995, and lo and behold, that is literally, we were up here, we were having a good time, everyone, it was very euphoric, and then we went straight down to the CME gap, hit the CME gap, filled it, and now we're going up again. What do you know? Did we make the trade? Do you think we made the trade? Because we didn't make the trade. If only we made the trade. By we, I mean me. I'm being passive aggressive. All right. U.S. small business hiring is historically weak. U.S. small firms plus 9,000 jobs in December, the first gain in employment in 5 months, according to the ADP employment report. Companies with 1 to 19 employees hired 4,000 workers, while those with 20 to 49 hired 5,000. This follows a minus 96,000 decline in employment during November, minus 24,000 in October, and minus 34,000 in September. I feel like that corresponds with the seasonal change. That's just my opinion. As a result, the 3-month moving average rose to minus 37,000, the second weakest reading since the 2020 pandemic. Small businesses are struggling. Who'd thunk? Breaking U.S. job openings fell 303,000 in November to 7.15 million, the second lowest level since December 2020. This was far below expectations of 7.61 million. Vacancies. Over the last 12 months, job openings have declined 885,000 and are now below the levels seen before the pandemic in 2018 and 2019. As a result, the ratio of available vacancies to employed workers dropped to 0.91, the lowest since March 2020 and consistent with 2017 levels. The number of unemployed individuals now exceeds job openings by 685,000. The U.S. job market continues to weaken. We need rate cuts. The U.S. is considering paying Greenlanders $10,000 to $100,000 each to support secession from Denmark. We may soon witness the largest acquisition in history. That would be absolutely insane. U.S. dominance in... That's actually crazy to like straight up be like, hey man, I'll pay you to just join my team. That is insane. What is Denmark freaking out right now? You know what would be really freaking funny? Is if Trump did this and then Denmark was like, no, we're gonna, and then they just gave everyone in Greenland a shit ton of money, and then Trump's like, okay, my bad, I'll back off, and then all these people in Greenland just have a shit ton of money now. That would be so... I gotta see if I can get a Greenland address. Everyone's just throwing money at them. They're like, no, come play with me, come to my birthday party, come to my house is better. Derek said, how much for a flight to Greenland? That's what I'm saying, man. How much for citizenship? Are you kidding me? We're going to go open a Somalian daycare in Greenland. It's happening right now, man. The ultimate investment strategy, 2026 hack. All right. U.S. dominance in global liquid natural gas. LNG is liquid natural gas. I did Google that. I wasn't going to lie and say that I didn't, but I did. Exports is growing. Using liquid natural gas exports, wow. I fumbled it already. It does look like using, just to my defense. U.S. LNG exports surged 25% in 2025 to a record 116 million tons. This makes the U.S. the first country in history to export more than 100 million tons of liquid natural gas in a single year. December exports alone hit an all-time high of 11.5 million tons, marking the fifth monthly record of 2025. The U.S. now represents 25% of global liquid natural gas exports, nearly 20 million tons more than the next largest exporters, Qatar and Australia. With new projects ramping up, U.S. LNG exports could rise by another 20 million tons in 2026. The shale revolution is redefining global energy dynamics. Interesting. Very interesting. President Trump said Cuba is in trouble and hanging by a thread. Hedge fund. I like that. I like that we gauge each situation differently. For Venezuela, they're just like, we took your leader. Boop. Bye. You're the United States now. And then with Greenland, they're like, you guys want a little bit of money? You guys want to come? Let me see. I think you guys want to come to my place? And then Venezuela gets kidnapped in the night. So messed up. Talk about a double standard. People in Venezuela are like, what the heck, man? Where's our 10K? It's crazy. It's so funny, dude. We're just being completely blatant about it too. We're like, well, Greenland, Hedge fund oil positioning is extremely bearish. WTI crude oil net long position as percentage of open interest is down to just 10%, the lowest since 2009. The percentage dropped 40 points in 2025, posting one of the biggest annual declines on record. By comparison, WTI crude net longs as a percentage of total futures contracts outstanding averaged 60% in 2020 to 2022. Meanwhile, net positioning on London Brent oil is down to 25% and has been negative for or down to negative 25%, I'm sorry, and has been negative for years except for a brief period in 2025. Are hedge funds too bearish on oil? I don't know. That's a good question. The U.S. household debt burden has almost never been this large. U.S. household total debt service is up to 30% of gross disposable national income, the highest since at least 2008. This means the average American household is now spending nearly 1 out of every $3 they earn after taxes just to pay off debt. This comes as household debt interest payments are up to 10%, the highest in at least 18 years. Furthermore, total U.S. household debt surged $197 billion in Q3 2025 to a record $18.6 trillion. Meanwhile, principal amortization, or the portion of debt payments that goes towards paying down the actual loan balance, not interest, is up to 18%, the highest since at least 2008. The debt burden is squeezing consumers' spending power. That is true. Not to mention interest rates for a lot of that debt is just incredibly predatory. I think it'd be really funny if there was some mass coordination. I feel like TikTok would be the only place that could actually pull this off. Some mass coordination of people just taking, like, maxing out all of their loans and credit cards and then not paying it for like a month just to see how broken the system can get. Like, what if 10 million people took out an average of like $10,000 to $20,000 in debt via credit card and loans, and they just didn't pay it for like 2 months? All 10 million people. Would that break a lot? Because I think that'd be kind of funny, personally. I'm not a debt guy. I think paying off debt is important. Carrying debt is goofy. If you can avoid it, avoid it. Not financial advice, though. Breaking. In a massive hit, General Motors is writing down $6 billion in EV investments. This comes just weeks after a similar $19.5 billion EV write-down by Ford. How is that similar? $6 billion is significantly smaller than $19.5. I'm just saying. As a Ford guy, I am legally obligated to say Ford is superior. GM sucks. We need more power. AI and data center electricity consumption is set to more than double by 2028. Data center power usage is expected to surge 650 terawatt hours between 2025 and 2028 to a record 1,230 terawatt hours in 2028. AI power consumption has already increased 200 terawatt hours since 2023, or plus 55% to 580 terawatt hours, an all-time high. This means data center electricity demand could triple in just 5 years. Data center energy consumption is already up to a record 5% of total U.S. power demand. Energy will soon be the biggest constraint on AI growth. Bottleneck, baby. U.S. housing market dynamics are changing. Mortgages with rates of 6% plus are up to 21.2% of all loans, the highest since 2015 per Reventure? Reventure? That's a stupid name. This percentage has almost tripled since 2022. Over the same period, I didn't mean to do that. Over the same period, sub 3% mortgage rates have declined 4.4 percentage points to 20.2%, the lowest since 2021. As a result, there are now more mortgage holders with rates of 6% than sub 3%, as existing homeowners have increasingly higher mortgage rates, closer to the current 30-year average of 6.15%. More homeowners are willing to sell their homes. This could revive historically depressed home turnover, which sits near 30-year lows. The mortgage lock-in effect may finally be starting to ease. You know what sucks about that is I don't know if we're ever going to see interest rates lower than 4% ever again. I hope we do, but who knows? Derek said the future is looking good for construction work. That is true. That is very true. I'm excited. And you know what robots can't do? Construction work. Because they're kind of retarded. Latest, Florida lawmakers reintroduce a bill to create a state-led cryptocurrency reserve after earlier pushback. What a bunch of weenies. Update. $2.2 billion worth of Bitcoin and ETH options expire this Friday, says Deribit. Every single time that happens, it is a nothing burger. So I'm expecting the same. We will see what happens. Just in, U.S. October trade deficit narrowed to $29.4 billion, the smallest since June 2009, far below expectations. Very cool. SWE Group now holds 108.1 million SWE tokens worth approximately $196 million and has spent $15.75 million to repurchase 7.8 million shares as of January 7th, 2026. Very cool. SharpLink deployed $170 million worth of ETH on Linea to boost staking yields. Also very cool. TrueBit protocol is suspected of being hacked. This is a PSA, guys. TrueBit is expected of being hacked, losing 8,535 ETH worth $26.44 million per look on chain. If you guys are affiliated with TrueBit in any way, shape, or form, I highly recommend you guys go check that out. Make sure you didn't lose money. Delphi Digital partners with Polymarket to launch 11 markets and help curate the new prediction markets using its research insights. Very cool. Bullish. Satoshi Nakamoto remains the largest Bitcoin holder with 986,000 Bitcoin, 4.6% of the supply, followed by Strategy at 672,000 Bitcoin and the United States at 328,000. What's crazy is the idea that one day somebody like Strategy or even the United States is going to have more Bitcoin than Satoshi. That's going to be insane. Next, we got Morgan Stanley plans to expand its push into digital assets, workplace services, and private markets in 2026. This is huge news. They kind of just came out the gate running. Very exciting. Even though I'm not a big fan, we'll see where they take it. President Trump will not consider a pardon for Sam Bankman-Fried. That's awesome. Celebrate. Bitcoin 91, 127 and 17 cents. Sol still up 1.39%. Very cool. Everything else very tame. We got Arrows up 1.86, trying to make a push to the upside. Silver. Little baby wick to the downside. Bitcoin might get a push here. CZ said he plans to self-publish his memoir in English and Chinese within 46 weeks. I was going to talk crap about this, but then I read the end. May change the final title and will donate all proceeds to charity. I thought that was really cool. Regardless of what you think of the guy, if he's charitable, great. Ben Armstrong said with stablecoins, anyone with a smartphone can get access to dollars and can send them anywhere instantly for less than 1 cent. That is true. Stock Money Lizards posted, let's see what Bitcoin does with that EMA 200 4-hour. See yesterday's post support. However, I want to highlight that there is still a liquidity cluster below 80K, and I know the comparison on the chart is somewhat flawed, 2022 bear market versus now, but it just shows that these weak uptrends, aka bear flags, tend to fake out before sweeping lows again. That said, it's just a reminder that Bitcoin is still under pressure. It's not a buyer's market at the moment. Stay patient and position yourself. Personally, I consider my 80 to 83K entries good ones, and I have limits in place should the liquidity swipe happen again. They didn't say again, but it's happened already. So we got a possibility of a breakdown and a touch of around 80K, which I think we were looking for somewhere else. Where did we talk about that? Let's see. Was it a fractal? No, actually. Oh, maybe it was. It might have been this fractal, but back here. Okay. I mean, worst case scenario, if I got to cheat, I guess I could, but I don't want to. I'd rather leave it where it's at. Total 3. I swear. Bitcoin 80K, that's Teashu. I think Teashu already nailed it with this, like 80,600 right here. I think he gets it already. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. I think it's definitely possible for sure. And that'll freak a lot of people out too. Alright. This one's awesome. 50 Cent forgot he sold his album for 700 Bitcoin in 2014. Now worth over $65 million. 50 Cent let fans pay in Bitcoin for his Animal Ambition album. Did around 700K in sales, equal to 700 Bitcoin at the time. He ended up forgetting about it until now, realizing it's worth $65 million. That's freaking awesome. This right here is a dream. Just like, oops, I forgot I had $65 million worth of Bitcoin sitting somewhere. That's pretty badass. And if anyone deserves it, it's 50 Cent. When altcoins feel boring, pay attention. That's often the fuel for the next leg. Altcoins total market cap, we got touch, explosion, hopefully. Same thing back here. We had resistance turn into support, continuation. I guess this is just support. I don't know. It's 382, 618. Okay, so they pulled a fib. And we got consolidating RSI as well. I actually kind of like this. That's a good one. Bach, cycles with Bach. Cycle forecaster charted. All right, I'll give them a follow. That's a good post. Then we got the largest Fed fund futures trade in history. This is what I was talking about earlier. A bond trader just made the largest Fed fund futures bet in history. The trade was a total of 200,000 contracts for January, which amounts to a total risk of $8 million per basis point move. Bond trader places biggest ever Fed funds bet in futures. A record-sized block trade was placed in the federal funds futures market Tuesday with a size of 200,000, the largest ever as confirmed by CME Group. So, that is interesting. Let me see. Okay. Then we've got orange juice jumping to highest prices in 3 months. The last time I remember orange juice skyrocketing in cost, which is a random metric, I guess, that people use, was in 2021. So, something to keep an eye on, something to consider. We've got Oracle forming a death cross for the first time since April. The last one marked the bottom before a price soared 169% over the next 5 months. That's pretty cool. Keep an eye on that for sure. Milk fell to its lowest price this week in 2.5 years. Finally been waiting on this. Milk is cheap again. Very cool. That's probably another reason why I got fat. 2x short silver ETF ZSL, which is the one that I have, saw an all-time high inflow on Tuesday. Traders are betting the silver run is over. And I'm going to close the poll now. We've got a total of 11 votes, and 55% of you guys said you think silver is going to outperform Bitcoin, S&P 500, and gold for the month of January. So it'll be interesting to see where that ends up. What would be, I guess, the most poetic thing for the short, the silver short, is if all of them got liquidated, myself included. I think that would be incredibly poetic. U.S. dollar index DXY hits highest level since December 10th. A little spooky. There's now a 73% chance that the Supreme Court will rule against President Trump's tariffs. That one's also kind of crazy. What do we do? Do we take this bet? Because that would be easy money if they do rule against it. I don't know, it just seems crazy that they would rule against his tariffs. Am I crazy? I don't know, maybe we'll consult AI or something. Apple on track for its 7th consecutive red day, its longest losing streak since May. Alphabet, Google hits a new all-time high. What the heck is this for? This might have been an accident. Asset managers have built the largest short volatility futures position since June 2024. I guess that's the one that I was trying to bookmark. And then we got Trump saying U.S. forces will begin special operations and land strikes on Mexican soil. That is it. Bitcoin at $90,940.01. Portfolio update. The 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is currently trading at $520.66, down $480 or 48%. Not bad, actually. The best performer is Solana, currently down 17. Worst performer, Aptos, down 71. Then we've got the meme coin portfolio, currently down 552, 55.2%, trading at $448.37. Best performer is Pepe, down 72. Worst performer, GigaChad, down 164. Then we've got the narrative portfolio, my favorite, and I believe the best performer at the moment, currently only down 176, which is, let's see, 35.2% in the red. The best performer is Tau, which is only down 4. Worst performer is VeChain, which is down 57. This portfolio, in case you guys are curious, is made up of 1 meme coin, 1 artificial intelligence coin, 1 decentralized physical infrastructure coin, 1 real-world asset coin, and 1 gaming coin. And it is absolutely killing it. Look at these bad boys. Tau's up 18.54% in the last 7 days. Pepe's up 20. Mana is only up 8.66. Fetch is up 30. And VeChain is up 6. Even with Fetch up 30%, it is still barely outperforming the worst, which is VeChain. Fetch spent most of its time at the very bottom. It just recently passed VeChain to secure 4th place in the portfolio. And then last but not least, the perfect entry portfolio, which I do think we're going to rename to the knife catching portfolio because we did a bad job entering perfectly. And we're currently in the hole. This actually might be, no, it's not. It is down 402, 40.2%. It is not outperforming the narrative portfolio. Best performer here is Chainlink, only down 13. Worst performer is Avalanche, down 60. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin is chilling, $90,978.34. We will see tomorrow what the Supreme Court rules for President Trump serves. We might get a monstrous move to the upside. We might get a nothing burger where they delay something and push something back, because that's what our government does. We pay taxes for them to kick the can down the road. Anyways, guys, I'm probably going to call it an evening, get some food in my belly. As always, if Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Thursday and good night.